Hey,
Boom.
look at all these podcasters.
Hey, I don't lie. We corralled. You need a corral for this many.
Yes. Let's do a quick round robin.
Yes.
Tell us your name and what your podcast, plural, some of you have plural. Tell us about your podcast, or just tell us the name of your podcast.
A log line in the title and where it is. Aaron, let's start with you.
Okay. I am actually on Outpost 13 right here on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. and it's Infinite Trek. And it's all things Star Trek, but right now we're doing Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
Jessie.
So I have a podcast that actually is about Farscape, funnily enough. That's called What the Frell, where we watch Farscape. But the main Trek thing I do is actually not a podcast. It's a YouTube channel called Jessie Gender, where I basically rant about how Star Trek and other pop culture stuff meets politics, social issues, and a lot of LGBTQ trans stuff, because I like to rant about gender theory, because why the heck not?
Yes.
Hey, Kennedy.
Hi, what's up? It's your girl Kennedy, also known as that Mikey chick, better known as the Storm Tribble, coming to you live from the 215 till the day I die. What's up, guys? You can find me on Black Tribbles. You can find me on Women at Warp, and you can find me on the newly minted Away Team. All of them podcasts, all of them everywhere out here.
Oh, okay. What's the Away Team, real quick?
The Away Team is the exploration of Gene Roddenberry's cosmic African diaspora, explained by two temporal officers in Starfleet.
Oh,
amazing.
All right.
Wow.
And who's that guy on the end? Oh, Cirroc, man.
Way
Glad
to
you dropped by. I hope you hit the.
Kennedy.
Did you hit the bar?
Yeah, I hit the bar up. I heard cocktail party, so thanks for inviting me, guys.
Nice.
Great mug.
I'm just drinking a Rock Gino, though. Nothing big, nothing too big.
Lovely.
My name's Cirroc Lofton. I'm one of the hosts of the Seventh Rule podcast. We started with Aaron Eisenberg about almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's me, Ryan Husk, and a lot of guests. And it's been a real fun journey reviewing Star Trek. We're doing Deep Space Nine. We do Discovery. We do Picard. And we also are doing the Lower Deck. So we cover the bases. And it's been a real introduction for me as far as watching, because I wasn't really a Star Trek viewer. And so now I'm on the other side, and I'm enjoying myself getting immersed in the universe.
If you've only found us during the Picard days or Lower Decks, you might want to know that Cirroc wonderfully portrayed Jake Sisco that we watched growing up over the 7 years of DS9 too. So
Deep Space Nine.
On Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, got Deep Space Nine love, and love for all the fans and everybody involved with the whole universe. Everybody's doing their thing. There's so much conversation and topics to cover. There's so many ideas out there that are floating, and just makes it rich with conversation, with topics, and allows friendships to merge. And also, Kennedy, I wanted to say, you said 215. That's Philadelphia?
That is.
See, I know my area codes. I just wanted to show.
How about, can we pause for a second? 10-year-old Kennedy just freak out that you said my name, bro. Like, I can't even hold you. My heart dropped 3 floors. I don't know where it's at. I guess I'll have to go find it. I'll be back.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Very humbling.
It's a party. What do we say? Right?
It is a party.
Cheers.
Drink up. Cheers.
Well, yes. Cirroc kind of started this off. Here's the thing, just to go around the room again, that because podcasting is one of those things we've already alliterated here to it, that it's equal opportunity. Everybody has a different interest, a different slant on Star Trek and intersecting with something. Why don't we just go around and say, what is it you, kind of in that same vein that Cirroc was just saying, what is it you enjoy most about doing this?
I think what I really love doing about it is just diving into some specific thing and chatting with somebody else who is just as obsessed with you are as about like a spaceship or whatever it is, and just finding that connection with another person and being able to share that with other people. It's like having it's like a real cocktail party where you just find that person and you sit in the corner with them, and it's like you've talked with them for your entire life, but it's just sort of this conversation that you can have either with your co-host or somebody in the audience. I love that.
Yeah. It's I want to actually jump in and say, Aaron, you also did another podcast about the animated series, and then you wrote
Yes.
a book about the animated series.
And then it's
yes, woo!
Chilling behind him, like it's,
Just happy to be there.
happens to be there.
I have to say, I even have. Wait.
insert book flyby right here. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, see, I knew this was going to be a background flex. Oh, look at that! Hey.
There it
I have
is.
mine
See
in
my
the other
pants
room.
there, but
Mine is on camera every week behind me on Tuesday Live.
I
yeah.
have both of your books, Larry and Aaron. Both of your books are in the other room right now. I failed.
Nice.
I should have had them right here.
You're on a holodeck. Just conjure it up.
Mine is set
right.
up for when I'm actually on the podcast. That's why the book's back there.
Yeah,
Normally.
I was gonna do that if
Yes.
you were gonna be too humble and not bring that up. So yay, Aaron.
Well, thank
Jesse,
you.
what is it about you? How did you find yourself to the YouTuber/podcast world and putting yourself out there? And what do you enjoy?
Well, I love doing it because I'm just someone who thinks about this stuff all the time. So I love just ranting about it to myself. So YouTube and podcasting was just, if I was
I'm sorry,
doing
this is
I'd
such
just
an
be in a
alien
room.
concept with this great.
I know. I just be in a room like Star Trek is talking about all these things. So it started off as just a way to express myself and just be like, let me just try and put it out there in the world. And then kind of jumping off of what Aaron said, I was just shocked and surprised that like the things that I randomly spilled out of my brain pan and tried to put in some cogent way actually connected with other people and made people feel like they got a chance to see something a different way, look at something a different way. And then those people who saw what I was making made me think about Star Trek and what I was thinking about in a different way. And it's what I love about Star Trek the most is not necessarily the shows, but the conversations that the show enables between all of us and allows us to just understand ourselves better. So that's really, really why I love just doing anything like YouTube podcasting that just creates conversation about our favorite shows.
And what's amazing, it's like a foreign country. We've all got this. We're all in different places. We're all doing different things and hobbies and careers, but it's this common language. And like Aaron said, you could sit down at a party or at a con or whatever, or right now, and start a conversation. And after 5 seconds, you're all grounded and everybody knows what everybody's talking about, even though they go off in different directions. It all weaves back. Yeah.
You get like science nerds, you get book nerds, you get out. As long as someone's some level of nerd, you're in the Star Trek community, I'm sure.
It's pretty much there. How about you, Kennedy?
So I originally got into podcasting 10 years ago at this point. Holy cats. And while Black Tribbles is very Trek in name, we do in fact cover all of geek culture through the lens of the Black perspective, primarily because as nerds, all 8 of us in the group at this point, whether it's comics or movies or gaming or anime or whatever, or Trek in my case, we all felt that our representation in the podcasting world was lacking, if there at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to have an opportunity to facilitate spaces where people with similar experiences could share that camaraderie. Like Jessie was saying, the whole point of this gift that keeps giving of a franchise is that there's something for everybody. So in that realm, we covered everything from a more general aspect, but my work with Women at Warp and Away Team is a lot more focused. So I get to talk about the womanist aspect of Trek. I get to talk about, the Siscos and how Deep Space Nine is arguably the blackest show in science fiction, period. I'll die on this hill, fight me. You know what I mean? And it's just been... No, just anyone who says it. Not you, Larry. You're a doll. I just mean...
No, I said who would. No, I just meant who would not say that. I'm just.
You'd be surprised. I have gotten into that
People
fight
don't know.
before.
Yeah.
Right.
People don't realize. Yeah. DS9 was groundbreaking.
Yeah, for real. So it's been able to not only curate the content that you want, but also spark joy in other people and create that camaraderie with other people too. The best thing about podcasting, easily hands down so far, beyond meeting all the stars and whatnot, has been grown people coming up to me and being like, oh my God, I was a Trekker my whole life. I was bullied in school. I never wanted to wear anything Trek related because I didn't want to get made fun of. And then I found you in some capacity, and now I wear a comm badge to work every day. And I'm like, oh, eyeballs are sweating. It's hot. Best part. Best part.
Absolutely.
It is. Cirroc, you weren't exactly a convert. Now, you mentioned this. We've gone full circle. You kind of had to be like, really, man? I'm going to spend an hour or two doing this thing every week. But I mean, like, what's been the revelation? You kind of touched on it a minute ago, but I just wanted to hone in on that.
Yeah. And I have a
Yeah.
question too. Can you tell us, like, what are some moments that you've been like, oh wow, watching this show for the first time, really, and then talking about it, are you like, whoa, I didn't remember that happened? And has that like uncovered some memories for you?
Yes. A lot of memories, because a lot of the stuff was before I actually fully matured and I had an adult perspective on things.
You
so
were a kid.
Yeah, so getting to look back, I get to revisit so many things. I actually get to see things from a different lens, because the people that I knew as friends or on a personal level as a working relationship, now I actually see the body of their work and the messages in the content and the material. So I look at it all differently. But for me, one of the biggest impacts and the things that makes it so special is a little bit of what everybody's saying here, and that is how it affects people, and that kind of energy gets reciprocated back to you. I get to meet fans all the time that tell me how their personal story was affected by Star Trek or was able to be related to in Star Trek. So there's so much there for all different people in the spectrum. And I also want to highlight on the idea of nerds. That's one thing that I can identify with people is because I felt like I was categorized as a nerd growing up. And one thing that I think is extremely special about Star Trek and sci-fi in general is the nerds have made it cool to be a nerd. They've actually embraced the idea of being a geek or a nerd or are smart about some kind of subject or topic and made it cool. And that's what's really special about the growth and evolution of this. We've taken something that was marginalized and something that was put to the side, and now we've made it something that's inclusive, that everybody can be a part of. And it's no longer something that has a negative connotation, but something that has a positive connotation. So I just want to, highlight that. That's one thing that I enjoy about embracing my inner nerd. And that's one of the things that I enjoy about meeting other nerds who are happy to talk, have these discussions, and talk about very intellectual topics that just really cut to the heart of who we are as people and how we can work together better and understand each other better as people.
Word. Nice. Well, I want to bridge us into a topic that I believe every single one of you is covering on your podcast in some way, and that is lower decks.
Let's go.
Yes. So let's go back around the room and everyone just give me like your top moment so far in lower decks.
Oh gosh.
I'll go first.
Yes.
Because,
Jump.
I said this before we went live. I saw Beckett Mariner for the first time and was like, holy cats, this is my great grandniece. Obviously, this is my child. She comes from me in some capacity. And at first I thought that was hubris. Like, cool out, Kennedy, it's not that deep. But then I've asked friends and they were like, I didn't want to say it, but and I was like, what? So after being a lifelong fan of Trek, just being completely submerged in the culture, never really seeing myself, right? Especially not in a powerful role. We've been in the auxiliary, definitely Black people in the backgrounds, definitely Black women in the forefront. Shout out to Nichelle Nichols and Uhura for that. Guinan, and, but never in the capacity where it's like, hey, I really enjoy the heck out of this job. I look great in this uniform. I'm gonna have fun with this and be subversive in a really oddly supportive way. Because I'm really a big fan of like team environments like that. That whole ship captain crew thing is really appealing to me. So seeing Beckett Mariner for the first time was like, yo, let's go. Whatever we got, let's get it. Oh, and in the beginning, the title sequence when they roll up on the Romulans who have engaged the Borg. And they were like, oh snap, what's going on? And they got fired at one time. They were like, bye! Just dipped. I was like, let's go. I went on that ship.
Not our fight.
Well, where do I sign up? What do you
I'm
need?
sorry. We're over here, guys. You guys take that. We'll run with it.
Oh, y'all got this. Y'all got this.
Y'all got
We
this.
good.
Yeah.
Y'all got this.
Sorry. Yeah. Nobody hung a sock on the door. What happened? There's no
Nope,
tie on the
not
door.
sorry.
We're out of
Romulans.
here. Yeah.
The Romulans. They got it. You guys got it, right? You got this. Bye.
Love it.
Just straight
Okay.
up nope out of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower Decks,
I-
guys, come on. We're going to be
I
very
think
topical
for me,
here.
I will
given
s-
that,
oh.
sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Yep. Okay. Given that I'm such an animated series fan, like I love the fact that they didn't ignore the original or just kind of pretend it didn't happen. They've really embraced it, and that scene that the first time that we saw the Vendorian, where
Yes.
the shapeshifter just appears and then disappears, and the fact that they took the original design, they actually replicated how he transformed, which was just like paint behind a stencil essentially. So it was all the cheesiness of the 70s stuff but brought into this modern day look, and I think for that was just like I kind of fell in love with just the people behind the show at that point.
Yeah. And then and then the Adosian
Yes,
a couple weeks ago, last week. Yeah.
no, it was great. And for the introduction, I love the fact that they kind of shave the a little bit of ice, which is very much like Voyager, but then just sort of like, nope, we're just gonna knock into it.
Complete system failure.
And then it just kind of like drifts down. Yeah, exactly.
To give like
I love that.
or I'm sorry.
Nope. I'm done.
To give like the joke answer and the serious answer. So the joke answer is like the dog in Lower Decks. I want that dog in my life. I want a floating, talking, sweet, kind dog like that can turn into a weird cube and just go around the corner. I adore it so much. But the serious answer, and it kind of gets into like why I love this sort of era of Trek in general for me specifically, is like I just seeing the characters on Lower Decks, kind of reflecting what Kennedy was saying, is just that it feels like a lot of us that get to be in this show. Like not all of us are going to be Picard or Riker or all of these like higher upper echelon people. We get to see the ensigns, the people on the lower decks. We get to feel like, oh, I would be that hyper competent nerd that just wants to spend hours just wanting to increase the transporter a hair of a second faster. And just like extending it even further. Like it's why I'm so pumped for Discovery season 3, because it's like get to see like trans and non-binary characters in this next season that they announced. Like I literally cried when I saw that news and then that trailer that they appeared in, even for like the hottest of seconds. So what I just am loving, I mean, about all of Star Trek has done this, but especially right now for me specifically, is like it feels like who I am is being really, really reflected in Star Trek, and it honestly warmed my heart and just makes me so excited.
Yeah. Well, I too have kind of a double prone approach to how I look at Lower Decks. One of them I think is in alignment to Kennedy's answer. I like to see Black family, and this show is now bringing Black family into the animated series. So that off top won me over. I was like, okay, I can buy that. I like the mother's character, and obviously I like what she's doing, what Mariner's doing. But also, what I think is really special about this, and what makes it different for me, is that it's comedy. So we're now, we take all these serious things, and when we go to conventions and we talk and we meet, we usually tell these same kind of jokes that they're telling now on Lower Decks. I've gone on many a tangent talking to people, making up names for different Star Treks, possibly, or whatever it is that we talk about, and the comedy aspect really is pleasant, and it's fun to watch because it takes so much of the pressure off. It takes so much of the science off, where photons and this and that, and how many tachyon lights,
but
or
it's there.
whatever.
It's there too.
It is
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
it's there, but it's not the focal point, right? It's not like the thing that's going to solve the problem. It's more about the relationship between right.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the comedy aspect of it, even though as I would consider myself a layman, because I don't have all the Star Trek references that you guys do when you talk about this stuff. It's like boom, 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 boom. All the aliens and all the episodes, and I don't have that. But I can still find entertainment from my level of knowledge within watching the show. So that's one of the things that I think they're doing a very good job at, is allowing the novice to still have some entertainment, while also giving the old school Trek nerds all the little tidbits and all the little golden nuggets that make you say, "Oh yeah, that was from that. That was from that. That's that." So I enjoy the way they're doing both.
Well, I never thought I'd be in the position of propping up Cirroc Lofton on on Star Trek self-confidence, but I think you'd be amazed, or maybe not amazed, to think that there's a lot more of Star Trek fans out there that are in the same position you are, Cirroc, that feel a little intimidated. But anyway, guys, listen, this has been amazing. We actually corralled this many people into one corner of the party here, which has been awesome. I think, but it's been great. We've got everybody's stuff following up here. So if you're watching us and you want to follow anybody here, catch out their show, whatever it is, just do a screen grab off this next, do a frame shot off of it. And thank you guys so much for being.
You're welcome. Wait, before I go.
Yeah.
Cirroc, my mother's been texting me, and I can't not say this. Wants me to tell you that she's very proud of you. And I, she won't stop texting me unless I say it. So there it is.
Oh, that's so
okay.
sweet.
Tell her I said thank you very much, and also I tell her I said I can see what a great job parenting she did by looking at you and talking with you. So
hey,
send my love back to her.
Hey, I'm gonna leave that last part out, but hey.
Oh, this
Thank
is so
you guys.
sweet.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Really
guys
fun.
so much.
Yes.
We're gonna wander somewhere else in the party, but keep with your drinks and your chilling. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. And we will see you all down the pike out there in the great interwebs, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,